All right, it's Weather for Weather Geeks here on Tuesday evening, the 18th day of September. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's the Valley's most in-depth, nerdy, geeky weather video, and we're going to take a deep dive into a lot of numbers this evening. It turned out to be a pretty nice day today. After a cloudy and foggy start, it was a warm one this afternoon. We got to 84 at the airport today, a full 14 degrees warmer than yesterday. Now, of course, September not ending today, but if it did end today, it'd be weird, first of all, but second of all, it would be the warmest September on record. I think we're probably going to slip a little bit in the rankings with the cooler air that's coming this weekend and again next week, so we might not finish in the number one slot, but as of right now, it's the warmest September on record. A full 7.5 degrees warmer than average. And Septembers have been warm lately. It's been probably, when you look at the calendar, out of all the 12 months, September has been the most anomalously warm month in recent years. Here's a look at the last 4 years. Last year we were 3 degrees warmer than average, but the 2 years prior to that, over 5 degrees, and of course we're running 7.5 degrees warmer than average right now. So I could not find another example like this. February's close. The last 3 Februarys have all been quite warm, but February of 2015 was very cold. We've had 3 straight colder than average, warmer than average Februarys, but not 4 straight really warmer than average months like we've had in September. And I showed you this a while back. This is kind of my look at the entire calendar over the last 30 years. Now, temperatures have changed in Youngstown. Now, each and every month is warmer than it was 30 years ago, but the most pronounced changes have occurred in the cold weather season, the months of December, January, February, especially January. Autumn is actually the period of time in which the changing climate really has been least noticeable, but you notice September only 0.2 degrees above average, or above where it was 30 years ago, I should say. And so the last few years have been a little bit strange in that September, compared to the rest of the year, actually hasn't seen that much warming when you look at the last 30 years. It's been the last few years that have actually been quite warm during the month of September. All right, compared to 24 hours ago, when I recorded this in the 7 o'clock hour, 9 degrees warmer. It's a lovely evening, and as I'm recording this, I'm looking at a great sunset. I'll post some nice sunset pictures on social media this evening. We were not alone in the warm temperatures today, above average temperatures, and all these yellow and orange dots across the Northeast, the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic states, back through the Mississippi Valley as well. There's a weak disturbance this evening moving through parts of the Midwest. Actually, a couple of strikes of lightning up over Lake Erie earlier on. We actually had one lone thunder shower down towards, or just east of Zanesville in southeast Ohio earlier on. We had a quick sprinkle and a quick brief shower, especially in Mercer County earlier today, but that was the exception. For most of us, we didn't see a drop of rain, and again, turned out to be a really nice day. When you look at the dew point map this evening, it looks like it's pretty muggy everywhere. Now, one little feature that, if you zoom in close enough, there is a little front up here across northern Michigan, up into Wisconsin. This is going to sneak down in a much weakened state during the course of the day tomorrow, and that's what's going to prevent tomorrow, I think, from being quite as warm as today. I think it'll still be a warmer than average day tomorrow, but that weak little boundary slipping in will probably keep it from getting up to 84 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Much like this morning, it may be cloudy for a time tomorrow. I doubt there's as much fog tomorrow morning, but it could be cloudy for a time. Some of the modeling is trying to spin up another renegade shower or two tomorrow. I'm going to leave that out of the forecast for now. I think Thursday is going to be a nice day. Again, little blotches of green on the model here I'm choosing to ignore at this point. I really don't think that's realistic. I think it is just a partly to mostly sunny and steamy day. And speaking of steamy, boy, Friday, midsummer-like. Now, this is probably the last hurrah for this type of warmth this season. It's going to be harder and harder to get up into the mid-80s as we go deeper into September. We've got 86 in the forecast for Friday. Dry start to the day, but as I talked about last evening, pretty good chance, I think, to get wet as we go into the second half of the day. Showers and thunderstorms becoming likely during the afternoon and evening. This includes for high school football Friday evening. Plan on not only a potentially wet one, but a potentially stormy one as well. And some of these storms could be on the strong side. We'll start zeroing in on the severe weather potential for the second half of the day Friday during tomorrow. I'm going to cover that in tomorrow's video. Now, the weekend forecast remains a little bit tricky. I've made the forecast more optimistic, but there's still a chance that this front will waffle around and be close enough by that we might still not get away scot-free over the weekend. The most recent run of the GFS, which I'm showing you here, does try to bring in some moisture again by Sunday afternoon. Other modeling keeps things dry all weekend. Our forecast definitely trended drier today. It's definitely going to be cooler this weekend. Whether we see rain or no rain, I don't think that has much of an influence on the temperature drop that's coming in the wake of Friday's real warm day. We may be hard-pressed to get out of the 60s both days this weekend. So yeah, a big change coming our way. All right, so this weekend's going to be cool. When we look at the longer range, there's also a lot of signs that a more sustained cool weather pattern is finally going to start to take shape as we roll into the first week of autumn. Autumn officially begins Saturday evening, a little after 9 p.m. I think officially it arrives. And next week probably starts kind of warm. This is Tuesday, but look at all that cool air compared to average out across the Rocky Mountain states, the Plain states. That starts coming east in the second half of next week and into the final stretches of September. Looking pretty cool compared to the average. And this is just the European model I'm showing you, but there's pretty good agreement on a lot of our modeling here that we're gonna flip into a cooler pattern as we close out September and roll into October. So September is going to end up in the record books as one of the warmest on average, but it could end on a cool note, and October could start on a cool note as well. I'll do a preliminary October forecast maybe tomorrow evening on Weather for Weather Geeks. In the meantime, thanks for watching this Tuesday evening edition, and I'll see you back here tomorrow evening.